guys, Sean T. Phillips here with my brand new DVD Blu-ray Tuesday shopping video today. They're going to go out today, see things came out today, see things are on sale. Now today though, new release-wise, when it comes to the new stuff that will be in stores, there's not a whole lot of things coming out today. One of the only ones that I can think of that will be coming out is the anthology film, the Mortuary collection. That one I feel like should be in, if Walmart puts it out on the shelves, and it should be in Best Buy for that one. Other than that though, I think there might be like one or two other horror films that Walmart might have if they put them out and everything. But other than that though, I don't think there's a whole lot of other things. There are a few things though that were not out on the shelves like last week and the week before. So hopefully some of that stuff might be out today as well. Also though, at the end of this video is going to be a whole bunch of brand new DVD, Blu-ray, and 4K reviews for some things I received to review and talk about for you guys. So definitely stay tuned for those at the end of this video. And also as well, let me know what you guys thought of the ones that I reviewed, if you guys have seen them, what you guys thought of them, and also if you guys plan on picking any of them up. But anyway though, guys, let's get going and see what we can find today. Into Target we go. Yeah, but when it comes to today though, when it comes to like seeing new stuff out, I feel like today might end up being like a total goose egg day. I hope that doesn't happen, but I have like this slight feeling that it might be like we won't see anything out at all. Like I know I was looking online on Best Buy to see if they were going to carry the Mortuary collection, but I feel like since that looks to be like one of the only things that's new that they have this week, it might be kind of like Willy's Wonderland, where last week that was like the only new release that Best Buy had, and then they didn't put it on the shelf. So it might be like that this week. And you guys know though, with Walmart, it's been like the never-ending thing lately of them never having the new stuff out. So it's always kind of like, it's almost like kind of like playing the lottery when you go in Walmart. It's like when they have all the new movies out, it's like the total, like you've won the lottery going in there and seeing the new stuff. But we'll see today in here though if they have anything new. Like I'm not sure if they're going to carry, the Mortuary collection in here, but we will see though. But we're taking a look over here though at the new release shelf here. But it seems to be all the same things here, like Wonder Woman 84, that was from a couple weeks back, News of the World from a few weeks back. So yeah, this area here, they like occasionally change it, but it's very sparse and random when they do. It's not all the time or anything like that. And they only usually do it for some of the really much bigger releases. But yeah, all the same other things on the side. Like they've had some of these things here on the side forever. Like, Gretel versus Hansel has been there for a really long time. But we'll go and check over in the actual section though and see if they have anything else over there, or they have the Mortuary collection today. Yeah, but in there though, in the actual section though, nothing else new today. Like I was saying though, I wasn't really expecting anything else different today. Because like I said, really the only thing was the Mortuary collection. And they don't usually carry like the Shudder kind of releases, like Shudder, horror releases and stuff like that. Usually, for the most part, that's usually just in Walmart and Best Buy. But we'll head over to Walmart though. We'll see, if anything has changed that at all over there. I don't have a good feeling, but you never know. It might be all like a big surprise all of a sudden, but you never know though. But we'll see. But definitely, fingers crossed. Into Walmart we go. But yeah though, like I was saying though, I definitely don't have a good feeling about much of anything being out in here today. But yeah, I appreciate you guys too sending pictures though of how your Walmart is, and it's crazy that it's like so many of the stores just don't have the the new movies stocked out and everything. So it's always just such a strange thing. I'm hoping that at some point it will just pick up again and things will start to be out, because it just sort of happened all of a sudden, like maybe like 3 months ago is when it got really bad. But that, before that, it was pretty much out for the most part. But lately it's like the worst. But we'll see though, we'll see. But yeah, the kids crying because they're upset. It's the same thing. And see, like stuff from weeks ago still isn't out here. Like, so these are ones from like a couple weeks ago. Like, what is? Oh yeah, so this is one of the ones from today. This one, Crisis. This one came out today. This olive tree thing. I don't know what that is. And then Body Brokers, what it's called, Body Brokers, something like that. But these were all from the past couple weeks, like Shadow in the Cloud, Willy's Wonderland, and like I said, see, some of those ones have still yet to make it to the shelves of this location. Let's just see, just in case there's anything different around here on the side. But no, it's all the same things, and it doesn't look like they got any of last week's stuff, because sometimes they like switch it out and they have like last week's stuff out the other week. But yeah, it seems to be all the same things, because like I think it was last week they had some of the other ones like over here, like these ones, like the sneak over one. What was some of the other ones in here? This one, doll face, and then manipulated. Like these are some of the other more recent ones that they switched out last Tuesday, but I don't see anything else mixed in here. You always have to check really well just in case, but yeah, definitely not seeing anything else. I might go to one other Walmart that I go by, because I might be going to the thrift store that I go to every so often. I haven't been to in a while, so if I do that, I'll look in the other one just in case. You know, there could be any of the stuff from like the past couple weeks or anything like that. And I found too, like I try and like see if there's boxes around, but there usually aren't. And some people were asking me about these. These are some of the newer slip covers. And I think I showed some of these ones last week. Like these came out a couple weeks ago, or a month or so back, but they're not out at all the stores though. Like the Knives Out one here. There was one for John Wick. There was one for Rambo Last Blood. And then what was the other one here? And then the Midway ones. These ones had like a different look, but these were all from the same kind of line of these slip covers. But yeah, these ones, you always have to check these areas, just because like randomly there can be some like different TV and stuff like that in these sections. But I never really look in the $5 bin anymore. Like I used to kind of like always go in this all the time, but I don't know, I never really, I feel like it's always kind of the same things and everything. But or now they'll probably head to the one thrift store. Hopefully there's not like a crazy line or anything, but we'll probably head there next though. Into the Valley thrift store we go. And we'll see what they have in here. I haven't been in here in, I don't know, maybe it's been like a month or so since I was last in here. Here's like, it's always like the shoe kingdom when you enter here. It's like so many shoes. But yeah, I see some stuff down here on the bottom. Let's see, not a ton of stuff, because you see there's a lot of empty baskets down here, but I definitely do see some stuff here, so you never know. And I have found some cool stuff here in the past. It's just kind of hit or miss. Everything in here is like CDs are $1, DVDs are $2, and then I think Blu-rays I think are like $3, something like that. But we'll go through here and see, you know, what's in here today and anything interesting and stuff. Like I said though, there's times when like down here, there's still a lot of movies down here, but there's times when all those other baskets back there are totally filled up. This spot though is always the worst spot to be, because it's always so crazy down here for the shoes. It's like shoe craziness down there. So it's like anytime, you know, when you're over here, it's like craziness for shoes. And then they're like the smallest shoes imaginable around here. But this is like a weird, what is this thing? Shadow casting Brad Pitt, Robert Redford. The making of a river runs through it. It's like some kind of like, it almost looks like a bootleg thing here. Like the scan and everything of it looks really cheap. This is like, you look at the cover, it's real, like it looks like it was just on a printer, and it's real blown out and everything like that. But that's definitely a very strange thing. Every so often you see like really weird things show up, and you're like, where in the world did that thing come from? And it's just a strange thing. Real random, and the fact that it looks like a bootleg or something. And it could look like that because it was an early DVD. It could have been like some weird place that was making it or something, but I do not know. But they never have tons of Blu-rays in here. They always have a couple in this store, but never like tons in here. Like I said, we're just gonna, here's one here, the Italian Job. Yeah, they're $2.99 for the Blu-rays. Like sometimes the Disney ones in here are always like a little bit more. They're always like priced a little bit more in here. And here's like a UK one. That's always weird too when you see UK releases in here. Yeah, it's a Region 2 release of Eddie Izzard's stand-up in here. Let's see. Without a Trace TV series. Let's take a look though. I see a couple Blu-rays over here. Rise Up, Planet of the Apes, Eat, Pray, Love. Seems to be some of the same ones that I've seen here in the past. Rib, that's kind of a random one to see. HD DVD there. Let's see, Rango. Let's see down here in the bottom. Anything different? Now, like I said, though, not tons of Blu-rays in here. And what's always a pain is when I like look back on the video later, and then I realize I ended up like missing something, which I usually end up doing that. Like I end up seeing something. But yeah, like I said, like seems to be relatively common things in here today. Nothing really that different that I can see. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, like I said, it's just a lot of super common. Doesn't look like here. Here's a few more Blu-rays down here. Let's see, like Ted, this Discovery one, Inception, Tickle Me, Play the Phoenix. This Ocean of Fear thing, Discovery one, a couple of different Discovery ones, Twilight Saga, Iron Lady. So yeah, a couple different, Blu-rays. Let's just take a look over here though, and see. This is the last bit down here. I see like Touched by an Angel down there. Justified. Yeah, nothing, like I said, just pretty much today. For the most part, it's been all pretty common stuff. Definitely not seen anything that different today. What's this thing here? This is like an Andy Griffith kind of thing, or something on the TV classics kind of thing, like public domain TV stuff. Let's see, Sugar Pursuit. Yeah, it seems to be all the main stuff. Pretty much looked through all the stuff in here today, and definitely not much different in here today though. Into the second Walmart we go. But yeah, though, in the thrift store though, I looked through, like I was showing in the video, I looked through all the stuff though, and absolutely, nothing. It seemed to be all like really super generic stuff this time around. Every so often I've been there in the past though, and they've had some different stuff, but this time seemed to be just like really super common stuff that time around there. But yeah, though, we're gonna head back there though and see, and hopefully, fingers crossed there's something new, even if it's stuff from the past couple weeks that I haven't seen. Well, I actually am seeing some different things in here. I'm actually seeing newer things here. Like I see like the Penthouse. This one was out last Tuesday. And then I do see Willy's Wonderland. I haven't seen this at any of the Walmarts yet either. So it's $14.99 for the Blu-ray, $12.99 for the DVD. But over here though, I was noticing some stuff they were like from the past couple weeks. Like this one here that I was kind of interested in getting. This one, I'm seeing a few of the things I have yet to see. I've finally seen some of this stuff. But this one came out last Tuesday. This one called Phobias. And I looked at the trailer to it and it looked kind of interesting. So I think that one's $12.99 for that one. So I might end up getting that one. Like I said, I think I will, because that's like the first time I've seen that one. Other than that though, I'm trying to remember what was today on new release wise. I was mentioning, I totally am blanking on what was the other one that came out today. That was the Mortuary one, the anthology film. The Reckoning, I don't know if I showed that one yet or not. Let's see any of the other ones mixed in here. I have to check the one other side too. Faith Under Fire. Let's see, make sure there's nothing else mixed in right here. Sometimes there could be things right here, like this one here. Is this a newer one? Oh yeah, this one has like a real like washed out cover, to it. Let's see. Yeah, anything else mixed in over here? I don't see anything else different right here. I did see a couple things here though. What were some of the other ones that I was seeing over here? Oh yeah, this came out like I think 2 weeks back. This one called Killer Karaoke. And if you guys have seen this one though, let me know how this one was. This is one I'm definitely interested in seeing. This one seemed pretty interesting to me. But like I said, if you guys have seen this one, let me know how that one was. But that one is $9.99 for that one. This one, I bought this like a week or two back, this doll face one. Let's see, Right Before Your Eyes. I don't think I've seen that one. All the other ones here are more I have seen though. So other than that, I don't see anything else different, but I'm definitely going to get one of the phobias. I have to just check to see which one has the best slipcover, because sometimes these slipcovers in here can be really messed up on the top. This one seems really good with this other one back here, but let's take a look though on the other side just to make sure there's nothing else over here, because there might be something randomly mixed in here that I haven't seen. But no, it doesn't look like it. Yeah, all the other ones here that I see are the same. So yeah, I definitely do not see the Mortuary collection one here. Let's see, are any of these ones same Mortuary? No, Shadows in the Clouds. But at least they have, like I said, some of the other stuff from last week, like the Penthouse, Willy's Wonderland, and then some of the other ones I showed over there. So at least they have, you know, gotten some of the stuff out in here, because it's been really impossible, as you guys have been seeing in the videos, to see new stuff. So at least finally we did see some of the newer stuff, especially, like I said, Phobias and Killer Karaoke and everything. Yeah, so in there though, I ended up getting that, you know, Phobias one in there. I believe though there was a couple things that were going to be coming out in here today, that, like, you know, indie horror wise, that I think should have been in there today. I think there was like 2 other things, I believe, today. So let me know though if you guys went to Walmart today though, anything else different that you saw. But I'm kind of finding now though that with Walmart, the way it seems to go is I'll find like the releases that were this week more often the following week. It seems to be kind of like what's going on lately. So it's like at least I'm able to still find them in some way, you know what I mean, now, because like this is the first time in a while though I feel like I've really seen more of the newer stuff. So at least this one finally has some stuff, because this one for a while has been the absolute worst one for ever seeing things. So at least we found something. I know it was last week's stuff, but at least they had something, you know, changed out and everything. Into Best Buy we go. But yeah, though, just like that, we're out of there. Nothing in there at all today. Like, I had a feeling, though, since it was just going to be the Mortuary collection was the one thing that they were going to have. I had a feeling, though, it probably wouldn't be switched out, because unless it's like a handful of stuff that they have to change, usually it doesn't get changed out just for one thing. At least that I've noticed. But yeah, nothing new that I've seen in there for the last 2 weeks now. It's just crazy. But I believe you know, next week in the coming weeks there's a handful of different stuff coming out that they should have and everything. But let me know though, you know, at your Best Buy too, what you saw, if you guys saw anything new out today besides the Mortuary collection. Like I said, I believe from looking online it looks like that's the one that they will be stocking, the Blu-ray of that one. But like I said, let me know if you guys saw anything in there today. Let me know as well anything new that you guys picked up on DVD, Blu-ray, or 4K, if you guys ended up picking up anything new today. Also too, let me know anything new that you guys have watched on streaming lately, any new TV shows or any new movies or anything like that as well. And also too, be sure to let me know what you guys thought of the DVDs, Blu-rays, and 4Ks that I reviewed at the end of this video. If you guys have seen them, what you guys thought of them. Also, if you guys plan on you know, checking any of them out or picking any of them up. But anyway though, guys, now stay tuned for the brand new reviews. And the first one I got here is from Arrow Video, and this is one, when I heard this was coming to 4K, I was so excited because I absolutely love this movie. This is a movie, too. I remember, like, how I discovered this movie, too. I remember, like, you know, just randomly seeing this at Borders Books in, like, I think it was in the horror section. I remember, like, our horror occult section. I remember, like, randomly discovering it, and, like, I knew nothing about this film, and I remember when I first watched it, like, I loved this movie so much, and I remember, like sort of obsessing about it, like, about the story and about the music and about the Mad World song in the movie and just everything, the whole concept of the movie. I was really interested in the film. I just thought it was a really, really cool film. And this is a film here. This is the 4K Ultra HD edition here. Now, keep in mind, though, this only includes the 4K version of the films. It includes the theatrical cut and the director's cut, but it does not include the Blu-rays. So it only has the 4Ks of the film. But this is the 4K edition here of Donnie Darko, which is directed by Richard Kelly. Like I said, this is a movie which I absolutely love this film. I have watched this movie throughout the years so many times. Like, I mean, like, and when it comes to the versions of the film, I kind of like the theatrical cut better, because, I mean, that was the one that I always saw. I saw that the theatrical cut the first time on DVD, and the director's cut. Basically, what's different is it it kind of explains things a little bit more. It puts some different text up on the screen. Some of the music is different, like the opening song is different when he's riding his bike in the beginning, and like, you know, there's a couple things change. So it's kind of like I was always sort of used to the theatrical cut, but if you guys have never seen this movie, this stars Jake Gyllenhaal, and it's basically, though, you know, he's this character who's going to therapy because he has some emotional problems. He doesn't really have a lot of friends in school, and just kind of the way that he acts and everything, and he's going to, you know, therapy and everything. But he's like seeing visions of this bunny, this giant like bunny, a person wearing a bunny mask. It's kind of telling him that things are going to end, that the world is going to end, and it has like a countdown and all these type of things. And it's basically him trying to figure out what's going on and why are he's seeing these things, these weird orbs and these things that are guiding him around and everything. It's like, it's basically him trying to figure out what's going on, and, you know, and why is it all the world going to end and everything. It's a really, really interesting movie. It's really hard to explain, but it's one of those movies, though, if you guys have never seen this movie, it's an absolute must-watch. Like I said, I have watched this so many times. Now, on here, though, like I said, it has the first disc here. This is the limited edition version, so it includes the theatrical cut as well as the Blu-ray. And on here, though, some of the features, it has a commentary track on here with the director and Jake Gyllenhaal. It has on here, though, the philosophy of Donnie Darko documentary on here, the making of Donnie Darko. On here, it has Richard Kelly's short film on here from 1996. It has a bunch of different interviews on here, 20 deleted and alternate scenes on here, with optional commentary by Richard Kelly. Trailer. On the director's cut, it has a commentary track by Richard Kelly and Kevin Smith. It has a production gallery, archival documentary charting the film's production with optional commentary track on there with the cinematographer. It has 3 archival featurettes. It has storyboard comparisons, B-roll footage, director's cut trailer, Mad World music video, which was by Gary Jules. And also in here, too, it has a poster. It has a mini poster on here of the of both different images on here. The really cool mini posters on here for this one. And then it has also in here, too, there is a book in here which has stuff about the production on here. You know, it has an interview on here. Jake Gyllenhaal talking about the film from 2000, and I think it was three article on here about the film. So a really, really cool release here. And then inside here, here's a look, though, at the discs. It also has these lobby cards in here for the film as well, which is like images from the film. And on the back, it has the original poster image. I always love this image for the movie. Like I said, this is a movie that I have always been a big fan of. Like I said, here's the theatrical cut and then the director's cut of the movie, but a really, really great release. And if you guys, like I said, if you guys have never seen this movie, is an absolute must-watch here. And probably one of like my most watched movies, especially when this first came out. Like I said, the amount of times that I remember watching this back in the day. And the other one here from Arrow Video, and this is a movie that I always really liked. This is directed by Jack Hill. Jack Hill also directed Spider Baby, Foxy Brown, Coffee, The Swinging Cheerleaders. And this is a movie that I always really liked this movie. What was cool, too, is a lot of the actresses in here went on, I think like 2 or 3 of them doing voices in like 80s cartoons. The one actress did the voice of the Chipettes and the Alvin and Chipmunks. One was like, she also did the voices in like the Wuzzles or some kind of a show. I can't remember, but it was kind of funny that like a lot of the actresses went on to do voice work. And like this is a movie here called The Switchblade Sisters, which is you know, this girl gang film, which like I said, I always really loved this movie. I remember seeing this movie years back. I think it was like on DVD or something like that when I first saw this, because I think I remember seeing Spider Baby and how much I love that movie, so I wanted to see other films that were from director Jack Hill. But this is basically like a girl gang film, and it's like a new girl that comes into town, and the one member of the gang like has a disagreement with her, and then they end up getting the juvenile detention center sent to juvie together, and then they have a problem in there, and they have like a friendship. But it's kind of like about like rival gangs and all these kind of problems and stuff like that. But it's a really, really fun movie. I always, like I said, really like this film. But it has on here, though, feature-wise, it has a brand new commentary track on here with historians and critics on here, Sam Dahim and Kat Ellinger. It has on here an archival documentary on here with the director on here and the producer and the casting director. Has on here the locations of Switchblade Sister, an archival documentary, you know, looking at the locations. Jack Hill and Jonah Nail at the Grindhouse Film Festival in 2009, an archival interview with the director and actor. Some more interviews on here, galleries of behind-the-scenes stills on here, theatrical trailer on this one. But like I said, a really, really cool movie. One that you don't hear about too much, and I always really like this movie a lot. So if you guys have never seen this one too, this is definitely one I would recommend you guys check out. The next one here, this is from, from Searchlight Pictures, and this is a movie here called Nomadland, which stars Frances McDormand. And this one here too it was one of those films too where it was like a lot of the cast members were real people, acting in the film. Another movie that was like that, where it was a lot of the cast members were all, just real people, not actors, was like the movie Bubble that Steven Soderbergh directed. And I always kind of like that when you have real people and have them acting in a film that are not professional actors or really don't even pursue acting, and I think that's kind of cool. And like sometimes you can get really, really good performances, and I thought in here too they got some really, really good performances. But this is basically though about Frances McDormand's character, and she basically goes and just kind of lives out of her van, and it's basically about her kind of traveling around, and she goes from place to place, like she's working at Amazon for a little while, and she goes from place to place, kind of going and having these small jobs where she works there for a little while, and then kind of travels along and moves to other areas, and it kind of deals with her following around too with people that she works with and other people that are nomads that don't have a house but either live in their van or live in their car, and they kind of travel around, and there's like communities that live out in the desert and stuff like that of these people that are out there. It's a really interesting movie. Like I said, it's just kind of all about someone that's a nomad that doesn't have a home, that kind of just travels around, and kind of what they do for money and work and all that kind of stuff. But it is a really, really well acted character piece. On here though, it has a Forgotten America featurette. It has a Telerude premiere Q&A with Frances McDormand and the director, as well as deleted scenes on this one. And also includes a digital copy of the film as well. The next one here, this is from RLJ Entertainment. This is also a Shudder original. This is an anthology horror film here, which is, this has, stars Clancy Brown, who's best known for, the voice of Mr. Krabs in SpongeBob, but I always think of him, too, from Carnival, and then Pet Sematary 2. Like, Pet Sematary 2 is probably my favorite, anything with Clancy Brown, because I just loved his character in that. And this is a anthology film here called The Mortuary Collection. And there were some really, really good segments on here. The best one on here was about this guy that ends up, pregnant, and it's like this crazy thing that ends up happening because he ends up sleeping with this woman without protection, and he ends up getting pregnant, and it becomes this whole big thing. The other one on here was a guy whose wife ended up really sick, and she ended up in this sort of like state where she wasn't moving and stuff like that, and it was kind of like that one horror movie about like that scary woman in the bed. I always forget what it's like, Black something or other. I forget the name of it, but it was like from the 60s. It was kind of like that. And I forget what the third segment was on here. And the wraparound, though, was Clancy Brown is like a funeral director at like this funeral parlor, and a woman that comes there to work there, and like he's kind of telling stories about the people that had been there and things that he had come across and stuff like that. It was kind of reminded me a little bit, the wraparound, a slight bit to like Tales from the Hood. It kind of had that vibe a little bit to it, but this was actually a pretty cool anthology horror film. Like I said, it was I thought all the segments on here were really good. Feature wise on here though, this has a bunch of different features. It has over 2 hours of special features. It has a commentary track on here, 14 extensive behind the scenes segments, featuring the cinematography, costumes, art department, location, props, hair, makeup, special effects, sound, visual effects. It has an in-depth conversation on here with the director as well as the actors, and deleted scenes on this one here. But like I said, if you guys are a fan of anthology horror films, this is actually a really, really cool one. And the next one I got here is from 4 Digital Media. It's a movie called Death Ranch. This one was cool. This was like a old school grindhouse throwback film. And it's basically though, this was set in the 70s. And it's basically though about a group of these friends who are going through, they're basically traveling down this, this like kind of area out in the middle of nowhere, in this small like town out in the middle of nowhere. And they're basically trying to get away from the police. And what ends up happening though is they end up in this area where it's all like the the KKK there, and what the KKK though, they're cannibals. So basically though, they're like these cannibalistic crazed killers. They're like eating people and all that kind of stuff. So basically though, they end up in this town, and they end up with the crazed cannibalistic KKK out there. So it's kind of like them with the police coming after them, at the same time them out there, these cannibals. So it's pretty much about them trying to figure out exactly how they're going to survive, what they're going to do, how they're going to get away. And like these are really crazy, like over the top, crazy cannibals and stuff like that in here. And it has on here though, feature wise, it has a Faith Monique interview on here. It has a Guts and Gore, the splatter on here featurette, the characters featurette, as well as the Story of Death Ranch featurette on this one as well. But this was, like I said, a really cool grindhouse style throwback film here. The next one here is from the Warner Archive. They sent over a free copy of this one to let you guys know that this one is available. And this is the Josie and the Pussycats in Outer Space, the complete series here on Blu-ray. So basically there was the Josie and the Pussycats series, and then they did, the In Space series. Because around this time, there was a lot of these different in space series, and they did like a lot of animated versions of things. Like they had, Brady Bunch, and then they did like Brady Bunch, and I think they did like a space one. I know they had a Gilligan's Island in space. So there was a lot of different stuff when you took characters at this time and put them in space, like sent them out into space. So this one was kind of like Space Ghost a little bit, and then like kind of like the Jetsons a little bit, because it was like futuristic and was Josie and the Pussycats going into space and then coming across like alien creatures and all these kind of people up in space and stuff like that. It's a fun show though. Like I said, I want to let you guys know that this one was available here and looks great here on Blu-ray. And it's a 2-disc set here of the complete series here. The next one here is from Severin Films, and this is a really fun shark film directed by Joe D'Amato, and I had never seen this one before, and it's called Deep Blood. And this is like I think it might have been made for like TV. I'm not totally sure because it's in full screen, so I'm not sure if it might have been made at the time, because this is from 1990. So I'm not sure if it was made as like a TV movie or not. But it's basically though another Jaws kind of knockoff kind of movie about like But the thing is that's funny about this one though is like the best stuff is like the really strange direction on people when they see people getting attacked by the sharks. And like when you see the way that people are acting when they're witnessing people getting attacked by the sharks, you're like, what is going on here? Why are they acting like this? Like, so literally like people are seeing people getting killed, like right in front of them. They're seeing them getting attacked by the shark, like ripped apart, and then they're just saying like this. Like there's no like, oh, like, there's no scared for, I mean, not all like that, but there's a lot of them where there's just like no reaction to what's happening. So that's kind of funny. But it's basically, like I said, it's another Jaws type film about this shark, and it's kind of like in the community, and like the police don't want to do something about it, so it has like the same similar kind of feel to Jaws and everything, but just in this one, just really strange direction of people when they're witnessing people getting attacked by the sharks. The next one here is from Full Moon, and it's a movie here which I remember seeing this one as like a kid, and I remember the one kid who was in here was on the show Secret War of Alex Mack, and so I remember like seeing this as a kid when this came out. And it's like, it's rated R, but I think it's rated R, I believe. But it's kind of more, it almost feels more like a Moonbeam, a Full Moon movie that's like an R-rated one. It has that kind of feel to it a little bit. Like I said, this one here is called Shrunken Heads. And I remember this one as a kid, though, because this came out in, I think, like 96. So it's around the time when there was a lot of the Moonbeam movies being made, like Pet Shop and Prehistoria and stuff like that. But this one is directed by Richard Elfman, who's Danny Elfman's brother, who, he directed The Forbidden Zone. And Danny Elfman actually did the theme song to this movie as well. This is basically, though, about like these kids that are getting picked on by these neighborhood bullies and stuff like that. And what ends up happening, though, is they end up getting killed by the bullies, but then the one guy in the neighborhood that like does voodoo and stuff like that, he like brings back their heads to life as like these crazed shrunken heads. So the kids come back to life as these shrunken heads, and they're going and kind of getting revenge and stuff like that. It's a really, really fun, crazy movie. On here, though, it has the original Video Zone on here, as well as other Full Moon trailers. The next one here, this is from Epic Pictures, and it's from their Dreads Presents line. And it's a movie here called For the Sake of Vicious. And this one was basically, though, about this woman that comes back to her house, and she comes back in, and in there, though, she sees this one guy. He's all like messed up and was like beaten up, and something had happened, and there's another guy that's in there, and it's basically, though, like the other guy that's in there is like, everything's okay, I'm not gonna hurt you, and it's one of those movies, though, when like something had happened, and it's kind of like, okay, so this guy is in there, he's all beaten up, and he's like tied to the chair, the other guy is in there, and she doesn't seem like she knows what's going on. So it's one of these kind of movies where it's like you find out more and more as this goes along exactly what's going on, and like, why is this guy in the house? What exactly is going on? Why is the guy tied up? Why is the other guy in there? And why did he pick to go into her house? Does she know him at all? So it's one of these kind of movies, like I said, where you find out more about this whole thing as it goes along. It's an interesting story with what's going on and everything in here. On here, though, feature-wise, it has a director's commentary on here. It has deleted scenes with commentary, the gory bits on here, a cast commentary, as well as behind the scenes on this one here as well. And the next ones I got here are all from Gravitas Ventures, and the first one here is a movie called At Night Comes Wolves. This one is kind of like a crazed kind of cult film. And it's basically, though, about like this cult that people had gotten away from, and they had like weird sort of things that had happened there, weird type of experiments and weird things that they were doing and everything, and we were people that had gotten away from there. And basically, though, this one girl comes across these people and finds out about this cult and then their whole group and everything like that. But it's one of those kind of things, though, when it's like it becomes like a really bad thing that she gets like linked up to this group of people, because it's kind of like they got away from this group, and she knows and you kind of find out more and more about this cult and what it all was, the meaning behind the whole thing and everything. But it's one of those things where her getting linked up to this group of people is not a good thing. You know that there was some weird stuff that's going on, and it's probably not going to be good that she ended up getting linked up with these people. The other one here from Gravitas Ventures as well, and this is one here called Bad Witch, and this one is basically, though, about this guy who's like this witch, and he kind of like, he has like, not a lot of luck with it. Like, he's like, I guess if he's a male witch, he'd be like a warlock, but he's like, he doesn't really have a lot of luck. He hasn't really had a lot of, success with it. Things have gone really bad, so he decides that he kind of wants to get and become done with being a witch. He wants to kind of like go into recovery from it and kind of just kind of get clean of doing witchcraft, because it hasn't worked out for him, so he doesn't want to do anything with it. But he ends up meeting this one guy who's kind of like this sort of loser guy who isn't doing a whole lot, and it's kind of about him trying to get away from the whole thing and get away from his past and the whole witchcraft thing and everything. It's a fun kind of like comedy film here. This is definitely a fun movie. The other one too from Groucho's Ventures is one here called Sideshow, and this was fun. This was about a group of these people who were like criminals that ended up wanting to rob this guy. It kind of has like a Don't Breathe kind of vibe, but like not at all like Don't Breathe, but the kind of same kind of concept a little bit, about like this guy who's like he can basically predict the future, and he can do like, basically he's a psychic kind of guy. And basically, though, they end up going to rob this guy's house. They find out that he has money and stuff in there, and it becomes this whole thing of him as a psychic trying to outwit these criminals and trying to trick them and trying to figure out what he's going to do and everything. This is definitely a fun movie here. Like I said, this one here is called Sideshow. And the last one here, this is one that I just want to let you guys know was available. And this one you guys can order directly from Joe D. Winecoop. And I'll put a link to his Facebook page where you guys can go to order this one. But this is one here called The Craglon Incident. And this is one that I have a part in. This was actually all filmed. I filmed this one from my house. This was pretty much filmed from most people's houses. This was all filmed, during what's going on in the world and everything. And everyone just shot this. Probably, I think, started filming this one in like probably April or May of 2020 is when it probably started. around then. There's going to be a sequel to this one as well, but it's an alien film about like these aliens that have come to Earth, and I'm one of the ones that's trying to save the day and everything with Joe Winecoop. It's a fun movie. Like I said though, there's going to be a sequel to this one as well. But if you guys wanted to order a copy of this, like I said, you can message Joe Winecoop, and I'll have a link for his Facebook page where you guys can go to order a copy of this one from him. But anyway though, guys, that was all for the review portion of this video. And like I always say, if you guys enjoy these shopping videos, definitely give this video a thumbs up. Thanks again for watching and subscribing, and I'll see you guys later.